Hello people. I'm going to try to redo this video and see if this one will be a little bit better or not. But let's do this. And this is the Ching of Love. Very beautiful box. And this is, by Los Scarabeo. And let's turn it. And they are printed in Italy. Yeah. So this is a very simple. Here is the back of the box. And as you see, it's in multiple languages. And it's a simple box with a small white ribbon that you can pull the cards out and so on. And I have already prepared. And here is the book. And here is the front of the book. And this is done by Swami Anand Vidha. Swami Anand Vidha. Yeah, I know I'm butchering that, of course. Here is the Ching of Love. And this is artwork by Ma Nishadho and so on, and table of contents. So English, Italiano, Espanol, Francis, Portuguese, and then I don't know what, Russian, I think. So here it the Ching of Love. So there is a little bit of introduction about all this, and there is so much to read. Yeah. And here is the first card. So it is, the start about the cards is from page 20. Oh, if I remember, 21 or 20. And it ends on page 55. Or am I wrong now? Yeah, completely. Let me just... Someone who helped me to do this didn't do a good job. So it doesn't end on 55. That was another language that came in. So it ends on page, it ends on page 37. So not much of information for each card. This is, all. And then the rest is in other languages. So that's how it is. So let's see. So let's start with the first card. And I hope that they are shown okay. And the first card, let me just... I'm just trying to... So the first card, number 1 is creative desire is the first card. And this is the dragon. This is a dragon. Eastern tradition sense desire as the beginning of the universe. This card is an invitation to not complicate life. Accept desire. To accept and to desire. It is not good to fight against sexuality or sexually. Every reason will have you fighting against yourself. And to reach full realization, you need all your strength. Okay, that's interesting. The card indicates that you are in tune with the creative power of the universe. That's interesting. And then that's, a little bit of what is in the book. So as you see, for one card there is not a lot of message. So the next card that comes up is receptivity. Receptivity. So, and then the next card entitled difficulty is the next card. Youthful inexperience is card number 4. And I can just remove this. Let me just fix this up a little bit. So, and that was card number 4. And I know that you have the titles down here. And then you have the card number up there. The next card, the 5th card, is all about waiting. And you have a cup of tea there, I was about to say, but yeah. This is an interesting card because this has, if I pick it up, as you guys can see, there is a hub there at the end, and here is an apple. And somehow I feel like this card talks about how you experience life and different things from life itself, different stages. So the next card is about conflict and conflicts that you meet. Very interesting. And here is the next card. So that was conflict. The next card is cohesion, is the next card. This is an interesting card. So card 8 is complementarities and solidarity is the next card. And this is beautiful because when I was listening to another review of this by another sweet lady that did do the Ching, who I got inspired by to get this deck, I felt like this card represents yin and yang. That's number one. The second thing that what I felt was that it talks about different stages of life somehow. So it talks about, you know, for me, my intuition, okay, maybe it doesn't have anything whatsoever to do with the book or anything. But for me, this card talks somehow about childhood, you know, teenager, adulthood, and, you know, becoming an elder. And this means so much somehow, and it doesn't have anything to do with the, you know, book or card itself, meaning. It's just what my intuition told about this card, and it's so interesting because it talks about balancing through life and through different life stages. So that was very interesting to sort of find and listen to, and that was what you know, inspired me to get these cards as well. So the next card that we're having is number 9, and that is importance. So importance. Oh, my clock is starting to talk. Sorry about that. So what is important to you? Very interesting. So it's like, take your time to think about things. So the importance talks about you're overwhelmed by events. You cannot do anything to help the situation evolve, nor can you cause any changes. Accept this importance. This too is love. So this was all about, oh, I did put it down. This was all about this card. Very interesting. So you need to accept. The next card is interesting as well. So let's go to card number 10, and number 10 stands for your inner guide, which is very interesting. The oracle reminds you that within you there is a guide, able to root you in happiness, yet you do not use it. So so that you are not aware of it. So you have an inner guide, but you could have used it because your guide is trying to reach you, but you're not aware of it, so you can't use it. Don't worry. It can be what did I type? Revitalized. Indeed, it must be awakened. If you want to live love to the fullest. So that's very interesting. So if I would think about inner guide, so yes, we all have an inner guide, a gut, an intuition within us who lives. And some people do open this door a little bit more, a little bit less. And it is interesting how you work with yourself. And he is holding a heart in his hands. And for me, it means that instead of being whole, he's sort of half and half. He's sleeping. He's not aware, or she's not aware of what is going on around. So you can use this intuitively. It's interesting. So harmony, love, and peace is the next card. So we have harmony, peace, and love. And there is a lot of joy, a lot of, if I don't remember, flowers. Moon is there with feelings, calmness. Interesting. So this is card 11. This is an interesting card, you guys, because here you have the Tower, and above there is someone, I think, standing, if I don't remembering it wrong. And here you have things going on. So this is the 12th card. And some of the Tower cards are, you know, there are a couple of them. Superficiality is the next, is the card 12. Let's not delude. Let's not delude yourselves. One loves, one loves for variety. For reasons and all lead to stagnation. The I Ching advises it to withdraw into yourself, into your secret intimacy. Very, very interesting. Oh, sorry. Oops, I didn't. Sorry about that. Let's see. To your secret intimacy, to give depth, to love. So according to the book, if I did understand that correct, is that you are stuck when it comes to just one person, and the card is asking you to look deeper and further, because there is other things and other, you know, opportunities that you're letting go of just because you have locked your door just for, one way. So that's interesting. Sorry for the camera, everyone. Anyways, that happens. That's how it is when you're communicating with a person who is like me. Well, this is the first time that it happened, of course, but still, let's see. I hope that it is zooming in all the cards now. So next card that we are going into is the card 13. To be in love is this all about. How is it to be in love? And it's beautiful because it's a new beginning of something. Two people meet, two people love, everything what they see in front of each other. And it's beautiful, it's green, it's a lot of passion, sensuality, and magnetism and everything. So it's like honeymoon. That's my way of thinking. Blushing, being shy, etc., etc. So yeah, that's the beginnings of a relationship. And the card 14, totality. Here we are it's like having everything within. Things are growing. We have heart, we have the flowers, there is joy, and you're expanding. Maybe the family is expanding in a positive, good way. So not bad. Then the next card, number 15, talks about uniqueness. Oh, and this is something that I love, because everything from a stone to a bird, to a fish, to water, to sand, to earth, to human, to whatever you can touch, even the air has its own uniqueness. And you have to understand the uniqueness. And you have to remind yourself that you yourself are unique as well. So yeah, this is interesting. Very, very interesting. I like that. So that was 15. Number 16. Fear War. Wow. The oracle bears witness to the happy impetus of the force that once shared becomes a favor. Success. Is due to abandoning oneself to the power of love. The absence of resistance is the only thing required. Okay, that's interesting, because here we have a horse moving forward. There is a lightning, there is a sound down, I think sun moving down. There is a heart in a cactus. And for me, this talks about that someone have just been hurt very bad, if I would just talk intuitively, and you're not sure how to deal with your heart, with the pain, because you can feel pain all over yourself, and you are like a wild horse that wants to run, and maybe you got, struck by lightning as well, and that can be electricized and all that. So, it depends on how you use your intuition. But for me, this talks about a lot of pain, and that you just been hurt. Sometimes depends on with what card this might come up with, I guess. That can also mean that you're freeing yourself finally, because horse can talk about, freeing yourself, freeing your sexuality, being what you want to be and how you want to be. And this is, as it is read, it talks about power, talks about even Mother Earth, and it talks about that this is a person that can be, that can stab you without you knowing when and how as well. So, use your intuition and see what you will receive with this card. But it's interesting to sort of see the intuition, because sometimes, a book will say one thing, but your intuition will say something different. And I love to work with my intuition. So the next card, 17. So that is looking at one another. Looking at one another. The oracle speaks of something that unfolds. Looking at one another. The meaning is simple, acceptance of the state of things. In this harmonization, which is not condescension, nor requires compromise. One enters into the natural rhythm of the world. Okay, that's interesting. So here is that's an interesting card, because for me this talks about that this is a person that is sort of in a way looking at things, trying to see things and accept things. I believe that there is sadness when it comes to thoughts and feelings. This is my intuition now talking. But at the same time, there is curiosity as well, and hope. This is what I feel when it comes to this card. That's just me. The next card is awareness. Okay, the next card is awareness. And here we have someone standing looking outside of the window. And she's aware of, how things are working out. She's aware of that something isn't as it should be. And we have a heart in the clouds. So it means that something is half and half done. And she's having a gut on how the situation will turn out to be. Interesting. So let's take the card 19. This is interesting. Listening to one another is the next card. And this is important. This is when I sometimes say give each other voice, because voice is important. Everyone's voice is important, and no one means less or is less than, what you are. We are equal, but we are in different stages when it comes to life itself. So you need to learn to listen to another person, and also remind yourself that this is a person that has a heartbeat, that beats and that have feelings, and maybe he or she is different towards you in thoughts and by realizing, you know, things of life and so on. So this can be so interesting, you know. So you need to have a bigger, better understanding to one another. This is an interesting card. So this is contemplation. And here we have again the Tower. Let's see. Oh, this is interesting. Contemplation. I hope I'm not butchering that. Within the Taoist, doctrine, this hexagram as a whole represents the world wave of the wise man. Quan is Quan is objectless attention, not limited by the ego. In practice, it is meditation, the other side of love. Learn to include in your game of life. That's so strange. Okay, if I understand this correctly, this talks about find the peace within you, find the calmness within you, and meditate on things. For me, okay, I didn't understand anything out of the book meaning, to be honest. So I'm going to use my intuition. And for me, this talks about that your feelings are shattered and scattered a little bit, and you're not whole. You can't find that peaceness. Even if the peaceness is around you and so on, you're trying to become whole, and you need to become whole. Listen to your heartbeat, find that wholeness within yourself. Nurture your heart, nurture yourself to have this harmony, to have these feelings and all together. So this is how I see this. I mean, everyone has a different point of view of things. That's just my intuition, and I have never worked with a deck talking about my intuition before, and now I thought to do so. But that is also why I got this card, set of cards, just because of the intuition, what I felt listening to that, review of it. So this is, here is the betraying and jealousy. Yeah, we can be jealous and we can feel betrayed. And sometimes we can even stab people in the back. So yeah, I'm not going to go into talk about that. Touching one another is the next card, and that is card 22. And to explore, let me tell you guys something. When you're like me, I mean, I see under 1%, sort of something like that. And when you're like me, to see how a person look like, you're using different senses, and some of them might be by touching a person's hand when you say hello and you greet one another. A handshake will tell you so much about a person, and it will tell you if that person is overweighted, normal built, however that handshake will be. You will know how that person is towards people who she or he meets. When it comes to how a person look like, sometimes we will, if that person allow you, will touch a person's face just to see how does that person's face look like, so that we can build a picture in our heads on how it is. And the hair, are they curly, or are they straight, are they wavy, short, long, etc., etc. So by touching one another, that can mean so many things depending on how you look at things, and what sort of senses you're using. So this is very super interesting. But for me, this talks about that. Don't be afraid to touch someone, to explore, because people are scared to, do that, and so on. So don't be afraid to touch each other's hearts. This can also be about touching someone's heart, touching someone's thought, or someone's knowledge as well, because you can touch a person in so many ways, depending on how you're reading this. Oh, I love that. I'm so glad that I got these cards, because this is so sweet. They are bringing out so much. And here you have a tree with a heart, if I don't remember it wrong. It should be here somewhere, I think. And I don't know if it's mountains, and so on. And here you have the card. And this is so that's the card. So you see, and for me, I'm thinking about that. There is a lot of things going on. There is a lot of obstacles in here that is putting a stop in front of you, and you have many things to overcome. And you're facing a lot of, emotions in all this. There is a lot of emotions, deep emotions as well, that you're trying to work with. And you're trying to see things in a clear way, which isn't easy, because at the moment you're blocked. You can't move forward. So that can bring sadness within your heart, because you would like to see more. You would like to, overcome all these big obstacles that is in front of you. So that's my way of seeing on that card. It's okay. And here we have card number 24, and this is about new beginnings. Okay, this is the card. For me, it can be a new beginning, but for me, when I heard about this card the first time, I felt like, wow, this is not about a new beginning at all, even if it, means that and everything. For me, this talks about somehow, I don't know, I feel sadness with this card. I feel like I'm alone. I have lost my partner. I'm searching for the heart that is lost. I mean, because there is swan and a heart somewhere here. So I'm searching for the heart that is lost. Because swans usually, if they mate, they, will have just one mate in life. They will not have another. So when they lose someone, they will be, on their own forever. So yeah, for me, even if it's about new beginnings, for me, this is also about, new beginnings in life, understanding that you have lost your love. And maybe, yes, you're going to find a new love, find a new someone to open up your feelings to. But at the moment, your feelings are low, your feelings are down, and you're not open, and you're trying to see on everything above, but it's like you're not seeing the beauty around you. You're seeing and remembering what have been, or thinking about in your head what you can have instead. So yeah. So you guys let me know if you have these cards, and how you're seeing them and how you're reading them, because it's always interesting to know how other people do, because that's interesting. Here we have the next card, and if I am not wrong, this should be 25, and here is the innocence of the child. And yeah, we have an innocence within us, a pureness, purification, that we need to find. And we need to always nurture the inner child within ourselves that have been hurt, that lives within our soul, within our hearts, which is important, because sometimes we forget that inner child within us. And if we get split, you're not going to be harmonized. You're not going to be... how should I explain? You're not going to be joyful. You're going to be sad, because you're not it's like you're not finding yourself being nurtured, taken care of. You feel half and not whole. So you need to nurture yourself, give yourself that hug, give that child, give your heart a hug, give yourself a pat on the shoulder and say, damn, I'm good of what I am achieving and becoming, and what I'm receiving and what I have. Remind yourself, and have, a pure, open heart into things, into everything. And don't forget, to feel how things are, how things are when they are fresh. How do things taste, smell, etc. So use your senses. Very interesting. So this is 26, if I'm not wrong. I hope you're not bored with me. Here is another card, and this talks about, let's see, what have I written? This talks about fear of love. Yeah, you might have been, I don't remember if it's a raven or an eagle, a raven, I think, who is on its own. And this is someone who have learned to be on their own and to fight the world on their own, learn to depend on themselves and so on. And here we have somewhere a heart that is yellow. And this, for me, talks about that this heart is going through to heal the communication within you, which is important, and balancing as well. And this can also stand for fear, and it's like, am I ready or am I not to open up my heart to someone else? Because maybe your heart is not within you. Your heart, some of your heart might be, I mean, when I say like that, I mean, some of your feelings might be living with someone that had to do with you from the past relation. And it doesn't just have to be about a relation that is love, sexual. It can be father, mother, brother, or someone dear that you have lost as well. I mean, this can talk of so many things depending on how deep you want to go into all this. So yeah, that it depends on you. Here's the next card, 27, and here is the meaning of it. So let's see what I have typed. And I have typed nourishment. And here is a person happy, joyful, walking, is free, and is not, scared to give and to, take care of her or himself. And this, when I see this, I think about that this person is trying to find harmony with the body, within the soul, not only, outside, but also within, which is important. And you're not just seeing things within a box, you're seeing things outside. Even if people will come and try to take away, try to put you down somehow, you're meeting them with unconditional love. And maybe that unconditional love is teaching them, whatever you give them, shared, whatever they take away from you, they're going to be met by love. And that's beautiful. Yeah. Next card. Oh, this is a heavy energy, you guys. Oh dear. So 28. This is the name of the card. And let's see what I have typed. I have typed under pressure. Oh yes. That's why this is a heavy card. So for me, this talks about that you are under pressure in life, in everything, and you're just managing it all. It's not long way, it's not long way until you're going to be crushed, until your heart is going to be completely crushed because of the heaviness that you're holding on to. And this can be about losing someone. This can be about going through so many things, different stages out of life that is, that can be heavy and everything. So not an easy energy card. So there is a lot of things that you need to think about to overcome this, and to lift up yourself. So even if you're struggling, your strength, you need to remind yourself, this is like, having the lion. You can have control. I'm thinking about the strength card in the tarot now. You can have that strength, controlling the situation, like you're controlling the lion, the beast within you, or the strength within you, because you can overcome all sorts of obstacles, even if they are almost crashing you. So yeah, this is me. My interpretation. Let's see what yours is going to be. But this is how deep I go when I go deep into something, and that's why I love to use intuition. So here is the next card. So here we have 29, and this is the name of the card. And let's see what I have typed. I have typed the dark night. The dark night of the soul. Oh, yeah. Okay, so this is also, you know, a little bit of heavier heart card, because life is not always about gold and joy and happiness. Life can be difficult to walk through, and there are so many things that you can hold within yourself that you're not showing, you know, for other people to see. And you're trying to nurture yourself, you're trying to balance yourself, finding that positivity and light. Because there are times when we are depressed, when we are low, when we are sad, we are not seeing things in a, you know, in the in the positive energy, because then we are seeing things in such a dark way sometimes. So this card is reminding ourselves to remember the things and the positivity that we used to go through, and to find that wholeness in masculine and feminine, to use your feelings, to work with your feelings, and to straighten them up, because we have both light and dark feelings and thoughts. So yeah, that's that. So here is 30. Here is the card. Very interesting. And this is, let me see what I have typed. Falling in love. Yeah. How are you when you're falling in love with someone or something? I mean, you can fall in love with a person, with a thing, and so on. What is that feeling? What does that bring you? I mean, that speaks for itself. There is a lot of joy. There is a lot of magnetism, sensuality, thoughts, fantasy. Again, you know, shyness, if you're shy, etc., etc. Vulnerabilities, and so on. So yeah, interesting card. Okay, 31. Oh, this is an interesting card. Ooh. So here is the name. Engagement is what I have written. And yeah, engagement. It's like, for me, this talks about becoming one with one another. Engage, communicate, have that good communication in between. Finding how much you have in common with each other as well. And finding understanding on what you have gone through when it comes to life itself as well. So, interesting card. Oh my God. So let's go through the next card, 32. Oh, and I like this. This is interesting. So... let's see, long-term commitments is what I have written down of this card's name. And for me, this talks about things that have, you know, you're planning to be in a relationship, to build it, to grow your family, to grow and be joyful together, not only for a year or month or two, but maybe for always, if that's possible. And you're having that responsibility of yourself, and you're putting taste, love, communication, feelings, and growth. It's like you have all the elements here. So yeah, you have all the elements. It's interesting. Wow, I like this deck of cards. I'm going to use this in my next live feed, and I'm thinking I'm going to go live today. So 33, that's a heavy age to go through, and I don't know, somehow I feel that this is a heavy card, heavy energy. And I have written Let me just find it, you guys. So here we are. Deception is what I have written. And oops, sorry, I'm just making a mess here with my things. Yeah, deception. And here is you're being backstabbed and you feel hurt and sad because you were not ready for that smash that you're feeling, and you feel hurt and sad and not sure how to think about things. It's like an ending of something, but it's going to take you in a new beginning further on if you just, let your heart heal and all. But this is also saying don't see things just within a box. Try to see things around as well, and don't shield yourself too much. Don't shield your heart too much, even if you have been hurt. If you want to let someone into your life, a new relation, for an example. So yeah, I hope I'm not boring you guys. 34 is the next card. So here is the next. Here we have an elephant, and I have written trust. Yeah, an elephant, they trust one another. They take responsibility for one another. They're joyful. They are wise. And you're, the eldest animal in the world that will observe things, see things happening, around and all that. Somehow I'm not getting that. Even if this is a grown element, I don't feel like it. Somehow I don't know why. That's just, my way of feeling. Because this is someone that is just started off on a new adventure and needs to learn how to trust their inner thoughts and feelings, how to work with their intuition. Because here you have the sun. I don't know if it's up or down, but yeah, it's like a new beginning of something for me. That's for me. Maybe something else for you, and it's okay, because we should see things in different ways because we are unique. So 35, a chessboard, if I'm not wrong. Let's see. Here we have the name. Game of Love is what I have written, and I don't like this name, to be honest, because there is no game of love. Some people, maybe teenagers, have a game, or children. Or maybe you feel that you have been played like a figure on a chessboard. I don't know. This is a card that I don't like somehow. I don't like when people play with someone's feelings. But yeah, this can be about playing with someone, with people's feelings and lives and so on. And even if this is not a negative painted card, sort of, I still feel like cut the cords somehow with the past. I don't know why. That is just what is coming through to me. So 36. This is interesting, and I don't know if I have a sip of coffee here or not. So let's see what I have typed. I have typed obsession and greed. Yeah, there are people that can be absolutely obsessive with their things, what they own, economically, gold, things like that. And also feelings, because sometimes they feel that, yeah, you're my partner, so I own you. You're just mine. I own you, not owe you, but own. So this can mean so many things depending on how and with what card it comes up with. It's interesting because sometimes you can, I think that this is something that you can pick up with the Om or Rune or the card, just to complement the, you know, maybe a question or something, getting a clarity. So 37, and here we have the name. And I have written family. So yeah. And I was about to say happy, joyful family, you know, but it's not always joy and happiness, because here is someone remembering their family and maybe their childhood, mother, father, brothers, sisters, etc., etc., missing. Or maybe this is something what someone wants as well. So yeah, very interesting. And you can use the numerology here to read. You have a broken heart and you remember, you know, how things used to be, and you want to, the 7, you want to move forward. You want to make a change and is trying to think, how can I patch things up? For an example now, it doesn't have to be like that because you can read it in so many ways. But yeah, 38. This is an interesting card. I just need to see if I have a sip of coffee, and I don't have. Oh dear. Okay, so let's see. So let's 38, and this is the name of the card. And I have written no in love. Oh, what does it mean when you say no in love? It's like you're standing in two different choices. Do I want to be in here where things are black and dark, where I maybe am not getting enough of love, enough of joy? Or do I want to be somewhere where I can bloom, where I can grow and have that communication, have that flow? What am I saying yes and what am I saying no in? Oh dear, you guys. So next card, interesting. 39. Wow, this talks to me. Ooh, let's see. And I have written the obstacle, and that's exactly how I feel with this card, because this is somewhere where I feel like I don't know how to get out. I'm stuck. My heart is stuck in something, and it can be in feelings, it can be in love, as this is all about love. It can be in old memories, having grief, having bitterness and all, and I'm trying to find my way out into the light, into the positivity, so that my heart can heal. It's like you have been pushed down, and now slowly you're growing up and letting go of this heaviness as well. So yeah, interesting. So 40. Wow, we are getting somewhere. This is an interesting card as well. So this is liberation. Is it? Yes, it is. Okay, and for me, I don't know what to say about this card. Somehow, okay, I'm going to let my intuition talk. And my intuition talks about that you're joyful within you because you're taking care of yourself, nurturing yourself, holding yourself. You're feeling loved, and you're feeling that someone is hugging, showing you love, showing you, you know, that joy and that peace. And your heart is getting pure and filled with, you know, thoughts and feelings as well. So many things can talk through that card. That's just my intuition. And here is 41. And this is an interesting card, you guys. Look at here. Oh dear. Ooh. And I have written suffering. Yeah, you're suffering, you're crying, you feel sadness. There is a lot of emotions within you that is stormy. And there is a lot of lightning, so there is anger as well, bitterness. You can grow. When you have better days, you can flow and be happy. But you let yourself suffer. Your heart is suffering because of the pain. I'm not going to go deep into that. 42. This is an interesting one, you guys. This is an interesting one, and I have written love yourself. Wow, love yourself. And yeah, nurture your feelings, nurture yourself as a human being. Love yourself, because if you love yourself, can find that love and sweetness within you and the joy, it's what you will reflect. Because you know, sometimes when people will talk about you shine, you're like this and you're like that, they're just seeing a reflection of themselves because they see you in the way how they are, because we are a mirror on one another. So if we can find love in ourselves, that's what we can project to others. Okay, this is interesting. Oh, 44. Sorry, 34. No, 43. Excuse me. I need something to drink. This is the name of the card. And I have written the courage of love. Oh, why? Okay. Yeah. You need to have courage in love and say how you feel and think about things instead of holding things within. Find that strength within you. Find that gut. And to stand for your feelings, to stand for yourself. But that can mean in so many other ways as well, depending on how you look at things. This is an interesting 44. So, and here is the name of the card. And I have written intimate meetings. Okay. For me that talks about, I don't know, yeah, maybe like how are you when you're intimate with someone else, intime, and yet not. Somehow I feel sensuality, dreams, longings, new beginnings, but also somehow an illusion. I don't know why. I get so many things with this. You can just go on and on and on. The next card is interesting. That is 45. And here is the name. And I have written happiness to love. Okay, so what is your happiness to love? Because sometimes people can see this in so many ways. I mean, I can have happiness to loving the nature, happiness to loving people around me or someone around me and so on. And letting that grow, letting that, you know, become big. And so on. Maybe there is someone special that we are thinking about, or couple. situations that is special. So it depends, but that's a very nice, peaceful card. So let's see, let's go through next card, and that is 46. And this is a very interesting card, I have to say. I was about to say, let me know what you think about this. That's the name of the card. And I have written 6. Okay, so let me think about what you think about this. Because sometimes there are people that are not having sex that would like to have sex. There are people that are wishing, hoping to feel the feeling. What to say more about that? But sex can be in so many things, because you can find that joyful feeling in other ways as well within yourself as a human being. But maybe this is talking about that open up your sexuality, work with your root chakra. There may be things that needs to be healed. Maybe you have been raped or used sexually as a child. I mean, this can be in such, meaningful way depending on how you read the card, because this can be about sex, enjoying the sexual situation that you are in and so on, intimacy and all that. But this can also be about, pain, depending on how you read this with what card it comes up. So it's an interesting card because that's a big spectrum. The next card. Whoa. Okay. 47. This is the name. And I have written failure. Yes, I have. So this can stand for that you're thinking of everything that you have done, and whatever you have done, you have fallen. It's like you have failed. You're not making things work in the way that you want in a relationship, for an example, or relations or other things in, obstacles in life and so on. So, yeah, I'm not going to go deep in there. And here is a next good, beautiful card, 48. Look at this. Very interesting. And I have written the spring. And this can stand for the spring, for a new beginning. Something is growing. I'm thinking about that. I'm thinking about growth in many different ways, in feelings, by body, maybe even pregnancy, new beginnings, new starts into something. A lot of is healing when it comes to heart and feelings as well. So yeah, that's interesting. Or even, being pregnancy, having another heartbeat within yourself. This is an interesting card, you guys. Let me know what you think about this. This is 49. And I have written the Tomb of Love. For me, I don't know what the book is saying, and I'm not going to try to find it out to sit and read about through there. But for me, this is like, this card is talking about that two people are trying to come to an understanding, but there is a wall in between. And if they are not going to listen, give one another voice there and so on, they are going, one of them is going to leave that relationship. And this is how I'm seeing this. This is what my intuition is saying, but that's me. Let me know how you feel about this. This is 50. Wow, this is an interesting card. And a beautiful one as well. Okay. And I have written what have I written? The crossable. If I should talk about what I feel is that there is someone who is having higher dreams of something, because where they themselves might be, they might feel trapped when it comes to feelings, and they want to have more, they want to grow when it comes to feelings and love, and they want to have freedom. I don't know, I feel like a cage somehow. I don't know, I'm thinking about the what is the card name, the Phantom Tarot, I think they are called, and I'm thinking about I think it's the Emperor who is building up a box, and this is exactly the feeling that I'm receiving with this card. It's like seeing everything within the box, but again, wishing there is, traditions, things like that, but at the same time, you're wishing for something more, for something bigger. You don't want to be stagnated in one place. You want to be outside and free, sort of, somehow. This is how I feel with this card. Yeah. So this is 51. Interesting card. Look at this. This is the name. And this is about fatal event, if I'm reading this properly. Wow, what should I say about this? I don't know what the book is saying, but for me this talks about that you're among other people when you're feeling drawn suddenly to someone, or maybe someone can see more deeper within you. It's like maybe you're locked for some people so that they can't see what is within, but then you meet someone who can see that, because that person can sort of see the same, or see your energy, feel you. So that's what it comes to say. So that's what I'm going to say. So let's go with 52. Oh dear. Okay, this looks like, I don't know. This feels like, I don't know as well. That's the name of the card. And I have written witness. Sometimes when a child is in difficult relation in between parents, she will be witness towards things that ain't nice to be witness to, that will make that child be with feelings that are upside down, and that child will be sort of all messed up because of all that have gone on in that child's life, and so on. So yeah. And then the other thing, this can also stand for that you're witnessing to maybe walking in on your friends or your brother's boyfriend, girlfriend, or you're a witness of a situation where you don't want to be witness in, because that makes your life complicated, because you don't know how to deal with that. Because I feel chaos with this card. I don't feel stability in it. I feel horrible energy. It's like not knowing what to do in the situation. So 53. And this is the card meaning. And this, I have written intimacy. Yeah. This I can read in so many ways. It's like you have stepped into a new relationship and you're getting to know each other through all the way, coming close to each other, seeing the richness of each other's, meeting each other's hearts, feelings, and everything. It's like a new beginning, a new growth of something. Yeah, it's like coming close together. So the next card, 54. This is the name of the card. And what have I written? I have written... Shit, well, let me just find it. The young bride is what I have written. And I don't know why I don't feel like a young bride in this card somehow. For me, yeah, maybe, why not? Like dreams. A lot of dreams on how you want things to be when maybe you get married and all that. Or maybe you're a young bride. This is a card. Let's see what I have. Wow, that is the card that was difficult to get into intuition completely for me. It's like, maybe I'm tired, I have a block down or something. So the young bride. All three relations between human beings are represented here. For the I Ching, the strength of love is such that it breaks and eliminates every convention and every rule established by social norms. The oracle speaks of the superior harmony that love brings about in the world. Wow. Yeah. So that's that. So this is about all sorts of elements. Still, I feel blocked somehow with this card. I don't know why. Yeah, that's how I feel. So not much card left now, you guys. I hope you're not bored with me doing this. I'm I'm going to try not to use my intuition much. So he's 55, and here is the name of the card. So here is fullness. And for me, this talks about that there is fullness. You're happy, joyful, together with someone, enjoying all sorts of, events of life. And becoming one, sort of, having a lot. Sometimes that can be a little bit too much as well. You can be drained, depends on, I'm not going to go deep. 56. Let's see. So I have written the Wayfarer. For me, this card talks about so many things. It's like someone is hoping to meet one another halfway and to have that understanding, communication in between. But this can also be a sad person that is ready to let go of life itself as well. This can mean so many things. This person is maybe thinking about the past and working things out when it comes to feelings and how to grow things, planning, being lonely. This can mean so many things if you just, use your intuition. But that's just me. So 57, let's move forward because I don't know how long this video is, but I hope it's not wrong. So the next, I have written wind. Yeah, wind. Wind can flow. Things can change in the wind. Your thoughts can change. You can change. And sometimes whatever you're planning is not going to work out because of the change that is going on. That's how I'm going to go by that. So next card. 58, I think it was. And I have written friendship. So yeah, a new friendship, a new beginning, getting to know one another, getting to know a new person. And you can be joyful, you can be like, who is this? Do we have things in common or not? Can this friendship grow or not? So yeah, a lot of things in it. The next thing, this is an interesting card. 59. I like this card. Oh my goodness. This is also one of the cards that made me to think about to purchase this. And this is aloneness I have written. And this talks about that you're being lonely with your feelings. You're not being understood. And you're struggling for people and for, the world to see you. But you're not feeling that you're being seen. And there is a struggle. There is a sadness. There is a depth within your heart that you're trying to heal. So yeah. Okay, let's go with the next. And now it's 60. And this is interesting. I like this. Yeah, let's see. So I have written limitations or limitations. So this card is talking about you need to limit things so that or stop a little bit and breathe so that things don't overgrow too much, and so on. So this I can go deeper into this, but I'm not, because otherwise this video will be long. And it is already long. 61. And here we have this makes me to think about the circle of life somehow. And I have written the present moment. Okay, the present moment. Where is your heart? Where are you in now? Where are you in within the time? Where are you in the circle of life? What is it that you need to learn? You know, if you're in the south, maybe you need to learn things that it's like maybe you're in a new stage in a new beginning. If you're I mean that's for the east, and when you're in the south, you're in playfulness, you're in the youthhood. Maybe you need to be more playful and open. Are you in west? Maybe you are in the adulthood, where you can take responsibility and see things in a different way, stronger way. And are you in north? Then you're in the wisdom, in being having that older soul, having that knowledge. But it depends on with what you need to work. Do you need to work with knowledge? Do you need to work with west, with becoming stronger, finding that stability within yourself as a human being? And yeah, I'm now talking about the wheel of I'm talking about the four corners and things that, and elements and animals and aspects. It depends on how you read this card, but I'm not going to go deep in it, because if you go into the, for an example, east, you will have the eagle there, and the eagle is soaring up in the air, can fly, overcome, all the storms, can see things above. If you go to, teenagerhood or youthhood, to the south, you are, in playing, learning, growing, exploring. There you have, the coyote or wolf. If you go to the west, you will, go to the bear, and to the minerals and stones and all that, in adulthood. And then you go to the north, and that is, to knowledge, to explore, and to being older and all that. So yeah, it has so much of meanings. Anyways, this card can have so much of meanings. So okay, let's go. 62. This is the name. And I have written identification. Yeah. So this talks about that. Who am I? What am I? What is my roots? Where am I coming from? What can I bring from my roots into what is now? But who am I as a person with feelings and everything? Am I changing? Am I going through a change? Am I shedding skin? So yeah, I'm not going to go deeper. 63. So here we have, this is a sweet card. Transformation. So you're going through a change, and the change is a positive one. But I feel so much of compassion, gratitude, love, wholeness, being together, having that yin and yang within yourself as well, having that balance within yourself, but absolutely joyful, becoming one, being whole. This is a beautiful card. And now, you guys, the last card. Can you imagine that? 64. And I love this card. Oh, this is, oh my God. So that's the name of the card, and I have written Mystical Union. Union. Oh, wow. Okay, I'm going to talk my last intuition and all this. And this talks for me about finding the shadow within yourself and becoming whole. It's like letting the Kundalini flow through you and having that control within yourself, because you're whole, you're one, you're balanced with your feelings and thoughts and freedom and captivity and everything, but also intimacy with someone, knowing that someone inside and out, can feeling that someone, having that deepness with someone, but also with yourself as well. Not only with someone, it can be with yourself, but this can also be having that deepness with someone else. And there is a fire, there is a lot of passion in all this, a lot of so much of going on and so much of feelings and growth and air. You have you have all the elements here. So this talks of so many things. But yeah, this is an interesting deck. I hope that you did enjoy my intuition and reading and all. This is how I do read cards when I work with something. This is how I do my things. And I have over 300 decks, I think. And I explore them. I love to do that. Use my senses. But you guys, I hope that you did enjoy this with me, because this was very interesting to enjoy and work through, because I did enjoy this this with you guys. Let me know what you think, and let me know if you have this set of cards, how do you work with them? Do you work with what is in the book? Do you use your intuition? What does your intuition tell you about the cards? Are you seeing something else, maybe, for an example, because everyone is having different intuition, and as we are in different levels, we will have and experience different things. What do you see? What is your intuition telling you? Or are you using the little guidebook just to use the cards? It's interesting anyways, so let me know how you use this. I hope that you enjoyed this review. I know it's a little bit longer than what I used to do. I have a slower version of this. I'm not going to remove them, or maybe, I don't know if I should. Yeah, maybe I will, because I like this one. Because I wanted to show how I work intuitively when it comes to things. And that's what I do with everything that I have in my hands. So you guys, join me on Facebook in Whispers Healing with My Ancestors. And I do mini reads. I do read runes, ohms. I do read cards, all sorts of cards, from oracles to tarot cards and so on. So yeah, crystals and everything that you can imagine, because I don't try to put a stop to myself to knowledge, and I always ask my guides to help me to expand and grow in my spirituality and everything. And we learn till we die. So if anyone will say that, oh, I am a master of this and I've got a degree on paper that I am a Reiki master, for an example, for me that's bullshit. I'm sorry to say like that. Some of you will say, oh, damn you. You can say that, it's okay. But that's my feeling, because we are having all those things within us, but some people use them more than others. And just because you're having something on a paper doesn't mean that you're better than me, because I can be so much better than you without having anything on my paper. Or on a paper? I don't know why I'm talking about that. So strange. But I believe what is, within more than what is on the paper. So yeah. Anyways, you guys, blessings, hugs. I will try to share my link to my Facebook page. You can find me on Instagram as Asha Light Eagle. You can find me on Facebook as Asha Light Eagle. And you can also find my Facebook page that is Whispers Healing with My Ancestors. So yeah, blessings to you guys.